Hello guys, welcome back. It's that time of the day again for another most amazing top 10 video, and my name is Danny Burke. You can follow me on Instagram down there. And this is the channel where we take all kinds of weird and wonderful things from all around the world and turn them into a nice little top 10 list so you guys don't have to. And today, we've got the top 10 most offensive video games. That's right guys, normally video games are supposed to be fun and, inclusive. But sometimes people intentionally or unintentionally end up making games that upset a lot of people. Let's see if you guys agree with these people as we jump right into this, as we always do, with our number 10, and we've got the Torture Game 2. So this game lets the player do exactly what it says on the tin: torture someone. Your weapons include a rope, a pistol, an AK-47, a shotgun, a razor, a chainsaw, and even spikes. And you use these to basically hack and slash at the torture victim until the game helpfully informs you that he's dead. But even then, you can keep going. You can still keep torturing his corpse. It's really messed up. That's pretty much the object of the game, just torturing for the sake of torturing. And there's also a paintbrush tool that you can use. I'm not really sure how painting the guy tortures him, but I guess some people can get quite creative. Things aren't looking any prettier now. At our number 9, we've got Mel Gibson Safari 3. Now at first you guys might be thinking, oh great, a nice safari game with Mel Gibson, that famous actor. Yeah, no. It was actually a 1983 game that features Mel Gibson welcoming the player to his safari, and then, well, I'll let you see what he says next.
Welcome to Mel Gibson Safari 3.
And he's not kidding either. That literally is the game. You just walk around blowing animals to bits with a gun. Bear in mind, this is a safari. And also killing native Aboriginal people if, as Mel puts it, they get in your way. The only reason this game is well known today is because someone decided it would be a good idea to remake it in 2001 and offend a lot of people in the process. But it might be getting even worse now guys. For our number 8, we've got Custer's Revenge. Now General Custer was this guy who was famously killed at the Battle of Little Bighorn in 1876 at the hands of a number of different Native American tribes. Well, the game developers for a company called Misty decided to make a game in 1982 for the Atari called Custer's Revenge, where the player plays as General Custer, who has to dodge arrows as he tries to rape a Native American woman who is tied to a cactus. That's it. That's literally the game. It's unbelievable. Now it obviously came under heavy fire from women's groups and Native American groups, and rightly so. So the game makers decided to re-release the game where the Native American woman actually waves over Custer. So that makes everything okay. But now it's time for our number 7 guys, and we've got the extremely controversial New York Defender. So this is a game where the player has to defend New York during the 9/11 attacks from an endless stream of planes. The title screen says, go beyond your powerlessness and use your mouse to fight back. And that's what you do. You use your mouse to fire green lasers at endless streams of planes as they try and hit the Twin Towers. Critics across the world called the game shameful and wondered what the heck game developers were thinking when they thought this was a good idea. Forget about hijacking planes. Many people thought that these developers had hijacked a tragic event that killed thousands of people and turned it into a tacky game to make a few quick bucks. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below, because we're moving on to our number 6 now, and we've got the Super Columbine RPG. The 1991 massacre at Columbine High School was one of the worst school shootings in American history, so somebody thought it would be a good idea to make a game about it. The player is put in the shoes of the two shooters and then explores their school and their motives as the other school children run around in panic. The developer behind the game said the whole idea of it was for people to try and explore the motives of why these kind of things happen, in the hope that we can stop them happening in the future. But many people thought that it was a graphic game that trivialized the actions of these two murderers and the loss of the innocent lives of the children. To this day, it's still one of the most controversial games out there, but now guys, we're moving on to our number 5, and we've got JFK Reloaded. This game allows the player to recreate the 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy, but unlike the real thing that happened with a bullet to the head, the player can choose any manner of ways to kill the former president. The game encourages you to try and recreate what happened as accurately as possible, but you can pretty much do whatever you want. If you want to shoot the driver, you can shoot the driver. If you want to shoot the tires out, you can do that. It lets you get pretty creative in a twisted way. It even had its own online leaderboard for people who were closest to the actual assassination. And if you did it perfectly, the gaming company were offering a $100,000 prize as a reward. Now, the idea behind the game was to try and debunk conspiracy theories about how the assassination happened, but a lot of people just saw it as a nasty game where you get to repeatedly shoot one of America's most beloved presidents until his brains slide down his head. Not a nice thought. Let's move on to number 4, guys, and I'm afraid it's not getting any less offensive. We've got ethnic cleansing. This game was made by National Alliance, an American white nationalist organization who entered the gaming world in 2002 with ethnic cleansing. The game puts the player in the middle of a race war where you either control a neo-Nazi, a KKK member, or a good old racist skinhead, in case you just couldn't decide who's worse. The player was tasked with basically running around and killing the game's twisted notion of African Americans, Latinos, and Jewish people, and the final boss was Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon. And if that all sounds awful, it's because it is. It's literally awful. It was voted on a number of different sites as the single most racist game in video game history. But for our number 3, we're going to move on to what might be one of the most violent games ever made. It's Postal 2. Postal 2's tagline is, "Remember, it's only as violent as you are." The player takes on the role of trailer park inhabitant Postal Dude as he tries to take on a series of mundane tasks such as get milk. Now, as some of you guys might know, it is possible to go out, leave your house and get milk without slaughtering a lot of people with a machine gun. But Postal 2 seemed to exist in a world where that option was actually the most obvious way to do it. The game constantly presents the player with all kinds of antagonizing situations, often racist and offensive in their own right, in the hope that they will indeed go on a killing spree with one of the many weapons just lying around the place. They can decapitate cops with shovels, machine gun down protesters, or even set marching bands on fire and then urinate on them as they burn alive. I can't actually believe sentences like this are coming out of my mouth. But now we're at number 2, guys, and we've got another video game that's about a mass school shooting. It's V-Tec Rampage. While Super Columbine Massacre RPG did receive some small amount of praise for artistic value, V-Tec Rampage received no such admiration for its horrific recreation of the 2007 Virginia Tech shooting where 32 people lost their lives. It was created by Australian game developer Ryan Lamorne, and there is no gimmick to it. You walk around from room to room in the university and mow people down with guns, just like the real mass killer did. And if you guys are wondering what kind of douchebag makes a game like this, well, when all the criticism came his way for making it, he offered to take the game down if he received $3,000 in donations. Well, guys, good job for making it this far and not being so offended that you have to stop watching. But now we've reached number 1, and we're going to be talking about the extremely creepy, extremely offensive Rape Play. Rape Play is a 2006 Japanese unashamed rape simulator. Players have to stalk and rape an unsuspecting mother and her 2 daughters in public areas such as trains and train stations. The levels get progressively more graphic as the player progresses, and the company that made this were not trying to hide what it was at all. They probably thought it was a bit of fun, but the rest of the world threw up in their mouths and condemned it as one of the worst things in video game history. Honestly, guys, it's horrific, and the only good thing about it is that if the player does mess up, the woman will turn around and stab the rapist to death. And that's another sentence I thought I'd never say, and now I feel a little bit sick. So there you have it, guys. If you did find any of these offensive, let me know down below which one it was in the comments. And if you thought any of them were bad at all, then give this video a thumbs up. It means the world to us. We're loving hearing your suggestions at the minute, guys. We're seeing some really good ideas coming forward that we are going to be making into videos, so keep them coming. Also, do all that good stuff like subscribing if you haven't already. Also, check out our 2 other videos floating over there. In the meantime, thanks as always for watching Most Amazing Top 10. My name's Danny Burke. You can follow me on Instagram somewhere down there, and I'll see you guys soon.